As far as I'm concerned, I come from a very normal middle-class family like all of you do, and education was my prime motive in life because after I finished my BA in economics, my father said, do whatever you want, son, but do the right thing. And I felt deserted, like my dad had left me, he hasn't advised me on anything. And I sat for something called the Common Entrance Test, and I went on to study further. Education has come in complete use as far as movies go, in more ways than one, because I understand what exposure levels are about, what opportunity to see levels are about. So I use education to the fullest.
Since you were a media planner and an MBA, and having an MBA, right, how did you strategize yourself to come up to this level?
Very honestly, if there are a lot of marketing students out here, if I'm right, sir? Yeah, there are a lot of marketing students out here. The only thing I avoided at some point of time in my life when I started off was any kind of overexposure. So I controlled the kind of campaigns I did. I did not do too many modeling campaigns. When I knew I was getting into movies, I completely stopped modeling. And it was just movies from there on. I expected my movies to release one every 6 months, but unfortunately because of a delay, I had a movie called Ethbar which released just last week, and I have a movie releasing this week. These are extraneous reasons. These are beyond me. But I try to control my exposure levels, and that's something that one of the 4 P's of marketing has taught me. You know, product, price, place, and promotion. So I concentrated on the promotional aspect of marketing because my forte was media planning, that is advertising. So it's always been important not to expose yourself too much because people don't really want to see too much of you.
Do you have so many fans following you even in your college days?
Well, when I was in college, I was about 62, 63 kilos. I was anorexic, underweight, and I had these lots of pimples on my face, and I couldn't look up at anybody and talk to that person because I was very shy. The only thing I used to do then to escape from all this was go play soccer or go for my kickboxing classes, because that was the only way to vent out my frustrations. So I realized where I come from. So today, when anybody tells me, you look really nice, and I say, you don't know, you haven't really seen me in the past, you know. So I understand what it is like to take a compliment. I respect it because I've kind of worked hard bodily to reach where I am, and I've been very disciplined. And as cliche as it may sound, because people preach a lot, but I'm a person who's practically completely vegetarian. I don't have deep fried stuff. I don't touch alcohol at all. But this is something that's become a routine of today for me. So it's no big deal. I don't do it to create an impression, but I'm very happy with myself that way. So if most of you guys can follow something like that, I guess you can stay fit and be good. And you'll have people clamoring. The brief that Pooja wanted, I don't know how many of you here have seen Jism or have been exposed really to the movies I've done. And no hard feelings if you've not, because many of us haven't seen my own movies. So Pooja wanted a guy who was macho, who had a nice body. The character had a nice body, was attractive, but at the same time could cry very easily. So if you ask me, I feel it's very important for a man to cry, because most of our heroes on screen are very afraid of crying. They feel they look stupid. But the biggest compliment I received was when Pooja told me, you look very nice when you cry. So, so I made sure I cried through the whole of Jism. So being machoistic is a very chauvinistic thing, and I think women more than deserve their place in the sun, because as far as I see, my director for my movie that's releasing today is a woman, and she's probably more, if not as capable than most of the men around.
Tell us about your first shoot.
My first shoot?
In front of camera.
My first shoot in front of camera was when I was working in an ad agency. How was it? Yeah, the model didn't turn up, so they wanted me to model instead of the model. So I went and I shot from my hips down, my legs. It was a jeans ad. So I was just sitting there and showing my jeans off, and I had to sit for 3 hours. And I said, what an atrocious profession where you're doing nothing and you're just sitting in one place for so long. And finally I'm there, sitting for three months doing the same thing.
John, can you tell us something more about your family?
My father is a Keralite, a Malayali, and my mother's an Irani, and my mother used to play basketball for the state, and I heard GRD has the best basketball team. Congratulations. But my father used to live in the YMCA, and my mother used to play basketball below, and my father used to keep looking at her from top, and he found her really pretty, so he came down by the court side and he kept staring at her for 2 months. And then finally when he had the courage, he went up to her and he told her that he really likes her. And they went out for 5 years, and then my mom had to elope from home because Iranis are very orthodox people. So my father had to actually catch her and run away somewhere far. And then I was born, and then the families got together like you see in Hindi movies. And then everything was fine.
So one woman you admire the most and why?
The one woman I admire the most, I was told to be honest here, and I'm going to be honest because this is a nice college with nice students and no unruly and irresponsible media. If I need to sound like a Miss India, yes, it is my mother I am closest to. And if I need to sound like someone who's in love, yes, it's Bipasha that I'm really close to.
How is working for the animal organization?
Animal organizations,
yes.
Yeah. Good question you asked, because, and I'd probably ask GRD, maybe they are, but if you all could in some way contribute to animal welfare, because I'm an extremist as far as animals go. I work for this organization called PETA, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. My mom, just out of sheer love for animals, we feed about 80 to 100 stray dogs in Bombay. We pick up animals that are injured on the road wherever we are. We stop and actually pick them up. Whether cars have run over their legs, it's a gaudy sight, it's horrible. But it's something we do. Usually we carry sulfur injections with us. Then there are a lot of animals suffering from maggots or worms. These are all horrible stories, but we've got to understand that animals can't complain, you know. There's a lot that is being done. Like I work for Make-A-Wish Foundation for cancer children. We do a lot for cancer children. My mom works for the Home for the Aged, for old people. But very honestly, animals are the beings right now that require all the help in the world. So in whatever little way you all could help out, probably if I could give you all information about PETA here, and if you all care to take the time off to come and see what it is all about and contribute, I don't mean financially, but I mean in some way or the other. Ideas will always be there. It'll be really nice. But yes, I am a complete animal extremist. I've got into trouble on the beach in Bombay also when I caught a horse guy because a horse's nostrils were bleeding. So I caught the horse guy and I pulled him out and I said, you're not going to ride this horse anymore. And next I knew there were 20 horse guys all around me saying, we'll kill you if you come back here on the beach. So I've got into trouble because of it, but it's something that's very close to my heart.
Does the body rule your mind or your mind rule the body?
It depends on which time of the day it is.
Men are Superman outside and chicken inside. Please comment.
I am a chicken inside. But you're right. Most men are Superman outside and chicken inside. You're absolutely right.